back to an all-new Celebrity Dentist. I'm your host, Garen Smiley. Our contestant has agreed to our Celebrity Dentist Challenge. For a cash prize of $3,000, he'll allow a member of our Celebrity Dream Team to perform a basic dental cleaning on him without any training whatsoever. Are you ready to meet your celebrity? I mean dentist.
Yes, I'm ready. Let's do it. Freddie Prinze Jr. Freddie Prinze Jr.
Hey, audience, you know what time it is. Let's get cleaning!
For me, would you come, pal? Oh, nice and steady, would you? Oh, all right, here we go. Oh, all right, now we're both done. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna drill till I see China. Hold still, buddy. Now shake it like a leaf. Oh, my.
Oh, God. Ooh, that's all the time we have for today. Find out next week if Harry makes it to the semis, only on Celebrity Dentist. Keep it on this channel because the box score starts right now.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple: C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Howard Collins, the box score.
Hello and welcome to the box score. I'm Brock in Los Angeles. They are the Danettes in Milford, Connecticut. Paula, yesterday I asked you if you had filled out a bracket, had your Final Four and national champion. You said you haven't even printed out one yet. How long did it take you today, and who takes the longest?
I took 3 minutes. I'd say Fritzy, Seton, and I took about 3 minutes. McLovin pushed it to the very last thing. I could hear the clock ticking. He's like, I got to turn it in, I got to hit send, I got to hit save.
I was in the bathroom with 3 minutes left, and I said, this is stupid to pick Wisconsin because they could lose to Arizona. So I wanted to come back and do Kentucky. But if I reset my picks then, there's a chance that I blew up my whole bracket, so I didn't risk it.
Didn't you have a situation like last year or the year before where you didn't get your picks on the time and you were accused of not having it done and your bracket was nullified or close to nullified?
No, people were saying that on the Twitter today that I cheated a couple years ago. Because I always run the back end.
Yeah, after the games are done, it's really not a fair time to pick.
I have a memory of you cheating a few years ago, too.
But not winning.
the back end.
But not winning.
No, yeah, so I didn't technically... I may not have gotten in on time. I might have filed at 12:05.
That sounds like a Fritzy answer. You may not have or you didn't.
Well, is it? Okay, you know...
How close were you to the deadline?
If a half hour into the first games, if you finish your bracket, is that cheating?
Have you already started cheating this year?
Like Notre Dame in Northwestern is past halftime. Did you turn in?
First of all, it's a computer system. I can't cheat it now, and I tried, trust me. But they lock you out, and I asked. I even had a back end where I had a guy staying up all night they run it out of Thailand. And I had him stay up all night to say, is there a way I can cheat 3 days in? No, you couldn't.
Bye, Mary.
Thailand bracket thing.
Well, if you weren't already pumped up, the official mascot of college basketball, Dickie V, called in today and talked about his unique style of broadcasting.
Well, I'd change my style, I'd be a phony. You know what I really get a kick out of? When I first started, the people in Detroit that covered me, the guys out there, the writers, Joe Falls, the late Joe Falls, Jerry Green, Michael Hara, all those guys said, you're mild, you're calm compared to what you were when you were on with us here in Detroit. That's me. I've been that way. If you check my, you know, I looked at my yearbook in high school. Under my picture, it says, everybody's buddy. I've always been a fun-loving guy. I'm probably too easy. I take pictures with anybody. You know, girls kiss me, just jumps on pictures here, picture there. But that's just me. That's the way I've been all my life.
I don't think you can overstate in a crazy way Dick Vitale's importance to the success of college basketball. I mean, he's a guy who did more to grow the sport than almost anybody when you think about it.
Yeah, he really, when ESPN came along, they needed a face like him of college basketball. I don't remember anyone broadcasting games before him. But it almost seems like I don't remember college basketball before he got popular. In the 80s, you think he's popular now. He was a superstar in the 80s when he kind of blossomed on the scene. I mean, he was a household name to people who don't even like college sports at all.
Yeah, my mom loved him. I mean, that's how the whole Duke, Dickie V, you know, all of that, One Shining Moment, all of those things sort of converged.
And that passion and enthusiasm, God bless him. We should all be that fortunate to have our wits about us and be that into what we do, you know, and into your 70s and beyond. And it sounds like he hasn't lost a step in once.
Well, you guys
actually, as long as they'll keep him hired, it sounds like he'll just keep doing it.
You guys know him a little off. I assume once the camera stopped rolling, he's like, oh God, I'm so exhausted. Is he really like that?
Yeah, well, you're right, McLovin. I mean, he is like a kind of a normal person when you talk to him. Like, Seaton's done it, we've all done it, we had him on the show before. You get him on the line, he goes, hey, yeah, Paul, it's Dick, I'm ready to go for the segment. Hey, ready to go.
Turns it on like anybody else.
I would imagine he had to save his voice, too. I mean, I don't know, like that yelling, because he does
his
get
voice is
by
always struggling.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah.
Is that something like that he had to work on? Like, I mean, like, I imagine at ESPN, he was on like 24 hours a day at a time. He was on every show. Yeah. Then he did games. So
I think he keeps it nice and low when he's not on air because he knows he's got to crank it up.
That light comes on though, he's ready to go.
Yeah, he's outstanding unless he's throwing accolades against your team. Oh, they're crushing the Jayhawks, which is always tough. McLovin, certainly he's iconic in college basketball, but what if I was to say baseball, basketball, football, and hockey? Which broadcaster stands above the rest in those?
Wow, well, the football was Madden, I think. And then boom, you know, he's kind of had that excitement. Gus Johnson had his thing going on. Baseball is always, for me, Vin Scully.
Yeah, it's gotta be
Vin Scully. Hockey, Don Cherry, right? Or is there... I mean, hockey, we got a lot of solid guys.
Doc Emmerich, the past 10 years.
Doc Emmerich, he's more serious than those other guys.
He's more modern.
Like he's gonna get there though, you know.
But Madden, he won't drop the Dickie V and the Madden, and then boom, you know. Yeah, he's not like it's outrageous.
I'll go off the board a little bit and say Keith Jackson in the 70s, 80s with college football. When he was doing a game, it was like you created a character and a voice for college football. You'd be like, Alabama at the 14-yard line, and you'd be like, oh, how does it sound so perfect? You don't even know it's going to be that great.
Brent, your guy Brent a little bit.
I love Brent Musburger. He can do everything.
Summerall's voice gets you right into the NFL.
Well, another broadcaster with a unique style is Rick Neuheisel today. He took to song.
There's a time of the year when we're all a good cheer and the winter snow's beginning to thaw. We hope our team makes the tourney. We're all about the journey and we squirm as emotions rub raw. We fill out our brackets, put on leather jackets and pull for each of our teams. A Sweet 16 would be fun, just avoid the one and done. It's a field of 68 dreams. It's a basketball safari headed up by Calipari. Will his Wildcats make us yell? Like Bobby Knight and his scowl, Tark biting on his towel, or the Wizard waving to Nell.
This guy is just extremely entertaining. As good as he is, you know, with some of the other songs, he's done about a half a dozen or so for us. And, you know, he's a great guy, even, you know, off the air, for, you know, not that we hang out with him or anything, but when you're talking to him, you know, he's just always pleasant and great. And then just seeing him be able to play the guitar and sing like that and come up with those kind of lyrics beyond his abilities as a, you know, college football former coach and an analyst, he's just great. And each one seems that much better than the one before it, and he killed. And it was perfect timing that he was able to put that together and do that for us literally about a half hour before tip-off for the big set of Thursday and Friday games.
But the important thing there is if you were to play the second half of that clip, he talks about himself and makes fun of the pool, and that's the part that was really, oh my gosh, because for those who don't know, Rick Neuheisel was a successful college football coach before UCLA. He was at Colorado, and then he was at Washington. When he was at Washington, they had an office pool on the NCAA tournament. Everyone put in 20 bucks, everyone, and he won it, and he won a lot of money. And it got out that he participated, and for some reason the NCAA decided to get rid of him for that, which I think is one of the silliest things of all time. And for him to do a song about the NCAA brackets is the ultimate. I don't know if it's irony or just like kind of payback, because he took some shots at the NCAA and this hypocrisy.
It was kind of awkward when Dan started the interview. I go, so did you fill out a bracket? And you're like, oh, like, you don't know if he's like, what, he's probably cool with it, or like, did Dan forget, or what? He's like, hey, so did you fill out a bracket? Oh.
My first instinct was like, I think that Dan maybe didn't mean to choose those words, or just at that moment
forgot about you say,
oh,
you
no,
know?
I think Dan knew exactly what he's doing. Who asked him to fill out a bracket?
I did.
Did you think that when you brought it up to him, did you think that he would be offended by it?
I did it through a middle person, like a PR person, and I thought it's something that he might consider doing. No, I knew I was well aware of the background, but I thought, like, since it's just a fun little internet thing, he's not coaching anymore, what harm could that be? And not that he would be offended, or how could we possibly ask for him to participate in something like that. But there's obviously still sensitivity there, and he's totally put the kibosh on all racket-related conversation.
They're not even allowed in my house.
To fill out.
Yeah.
I don't use a pool.
But he was a very good sport about talking about it and singing about it.
Well, thanks for clarifying that, Paulie. We were kind of wondering around the office what the problem was with the pool thing. Neuheisel coached in several colleges. Coming up, we're going to talk about a guy who played on 10 different baseball teams this year. Yikes. You got to go with one. That's what the box score does. It goes with just the Ram 1500 Eco Diesel. That's all we need. Every truck can tow a boat. Every truck can climb a hill. Every truck can haul a trailer. But not everybody has the most fuel-efficient half-ton truck on the road. Get more facts at ramtrucks.com. Guts, glory, Ram.
If there was a Ron Burgundy School of Broadcasting, these guys definitely would have flunked out. You're watching Brock and the Danettes on the box score.
Welcome back to the box score. They said it would never be done. Will Ferrell mentioned my name. No, Ron Burgundy did. That's even better. Brock 1, World 0. Paulie, if you were out in public walking towards Will Ferrell, would you guys recognize each other without sort of waving and saying anything?
Well, I mean, one of the literal great moments of my life, we were at the DirecTV big party after the Super Bowl in New Orleans. Yeah. New Orleans. And we snuck into the VIP area because we couldn't get passes. And we were standing there just kind of, McLovin and I are sitting by the bar. We're like, oh my gosh. And I think we saw Paul McCartney and Serena Williams and numerous other people. Yeah. And all of a sudden we hear right on our backs, and Will Ferrell slaps us on our backs and goes, dudes, good to meet you. And I'm telling you, I thought I was going to pass out. I thought I was going to pass out. Weren't you?
Huge show of the fan. He had actually winked at me earlier in the night. And I was like, he saw me, he goes,
yeah.
I'm like, what the
He proceeded.
There must be somebody behind me.
He proceeded to tell McLovin.
Would you call him a super fan? I'd say he's a fan.
He definitely watches the show, I have no doubt about it. He actually said this, he goes, you know, guys, I set up a little TV in my bathroom and I watch a show about 30 minutes every morning when I'm in the bathroom. My wife says, why are you in there so long? He goes, oh, I'm taking my time, you know, cleaning up the infield and stuff like that. And he was cleaning up. I was just sitting there going, I don't want this to end.
I'm not sure Will wanted that out. Actually, it's Will Ferrell.
That's what he said. Yeah. He's naked right now
He's
somewhere.
not shy.
Yeah, Will Ferrell manscaped for the DP show. That's fascinating. Well, he called in today and talked to DP about playing in Major League Baseball for 10 different teams during spring training.
Who did not want you out there?
Well, I don't know if you read this, too. The Diamondbacks manager, not happy with me. Yeah, because I went into the left field for the Diamondbacks. We were down 9-1. I say we. And by the time I left, we were down 12-1. And I think he was quoted something to the effect of, I did not enjoy the day Ferrell cost us 3 runs.
Wow. Some guys just don't get it. I mean, what kind of jerk is like, it's Will Ferrell, it's spring training, who cares?
Yeah, but I'd be pretty grumpy, too, if I had to wear that uniform.
That is true.
I'm a grown-ass man. I'm like 65, big belly and stuff, and I'm wearing a kid's baseball uniform. I'd be
like Don Zimmer?
Stupid.
With your sunflower seeds in the
You don't have to be in shape anymore, but now you have to, so you could look in this dopey uniform.
Good point.
Yeah, they are not flattering. Hey, Seton, whose career would you rather have, Will Ferrell's or Mariano Rivera's?
Oh, come on, dude. That's not cool.
That's a no loss, though.
Well, do I want to be the greatest? Well, okay, Will Ferrell's not the greatest comedian of all time.
You gotta go
He's
Rivera.
not.
Your Yankees?
But Mariano Rivera is the greatest closer of all time. He's like...
Yeah, but he's a closer. He's not even a starter.
But still,
You know what, though?
Yankees.
I'm going to take Will Ferrell.
Really?
What if it was Jeet?
Because you're saying Mariano's overrated.
I'm not, well, because his position doesn't really mean anything. No.
Yeah, I know. He could cut it as a starter.
He's not even going to get in the Hall of Fame.
Let's up it, Brock. Jeets or Ferrell?
Oh, Derek Jeter all day.
Wow.
But Derek Jeter's not funny. Like, he's a guy who doesn't look like he's having a lot of fun.
He's not funny.
And right now I'm on this huge kick of, like, making people laugh is the best thing in the whole world. And to be able to do that, like, on TV or on stage or whatever, make movies, TV, Saturday Night Live.
So you'd rather be an overrated shortstop who's only famous because he played in New York than...
Wow, what is that?
No, I think I'd still rather be Will Ferrell, actually.
Over Derek Jeter?
I really do, over Derek Jeter.
You have the ability to saw off a 243-foot home run from right field. For some reason, Yankee Stadium...
Just reflected off the bat weird.
It's something at the Yankee Stadium right field. It's right behind second base, so Jeter had all these home runs.
It's really just further proof of my decaying Yankee fandom. I'm like, oh, you gotta wear pinstripes all the time.
If I get to be Laser Show,
Pedroia, now that's something, all right? That's a guy who overcame some obstacles.
Well, you got to go with the fun guy. Stay with us. We are learning all about the madness after this. Welcome back to Box Score, guys. Today is the day the brackets have been filled out. Fans all over the country have grabbed their old college t-shirts covered with the vomit and the beer from last year's tournament. March Madness is here. And to sort of put this in some context, we're going to play a little game that gives us some reference here. It's called March Madness About You. Paul Reiser, Helen Hunt, what a great show, right? It's row versus row since the battle is officially on. Steelsies be for realsies. March Madness About You. Yeah, don't know why I love you like I do. Okay, front row, you have the honors. How many championships did John Wooden win with UCLA?
12?
Miss Steels?
They're Steels, but don't give up on it.
Go for it. I
Say
don't know.
12?
I was going to go 11, but I think that's right.
I'll say 12.
12.
We'll say 12.
12 is incorrect.
And we have a chance to steal.
Can we get our answer?
Back row can steal.
Can we take our answer back?
You certainly can. Back row can
I
steal.
think I think it's 11 unless I'm thinking it's 10 or 11.
We're going to say 11.
Oh, is it 10? 11. Let's go with 11.
Yeah, good job, Fritz. You talked him out of the correct answer. That's wrong.
10. Oh, you're
Yeah.
going back and forth between 11.
Back row.
We're all so close.
That's great.
Back row, who led?
And that wasn't a repeated one. Those are 3 different air balls.
It's on a different angle on the camera. It's not. It's
They had
the
a
same.
lot to choose from. They
It's
got
other
others
ones.
in the can.
And the whiff. Who led all of Division I basketball this season in points per game scoring? He plays tonight.
Who led all of Division I hoops this season? Points per game scoring.
Someone in Kentucky?
No, they spread their points out.
Kaminsky? Is Wisconsin playing too?
I don't think Kaminsky got that high. He plays tonight. Think about who's playing
I
tonight.
know. We'd have to have memorized all the games that are scheduled.
No more than. All right. Here's by the way. How many college
How
basketball
about
players
this,
can you name?
Brock? Will you give half a point for the school?
Yes.
Yes,
I will.
Let's go with that guy that they were talking about the other day. Seth Davis said, "Watch out for Seth."
We need
Tuttle.
an answer.
Okay.
Seth Tuttle.
Seth Tuttle.
Wrong.
Northern Iowa?
Front row, you can
McLaughlin
steal.
Group. Wrong.
We're going to go with Williams from LIU Brooklyn.
That is also wrong, so let the air balls fly. Tyler Harvey from Eastern Washington.
Oh, never
we're
got
close.
that.
When you really look at Fritzy get up there.
Harvey, Eastern Washington. We wouldn't have guessed that in 100 guesses.
Quite a vertical. Front row, here's your here's a 2014 question for you. Who won last season's NIT championship?
These are rough.
Season's NIT.
We're going to get a CBI question.
Someone who sucks.
Who was the 69th best team
Yes.
in the country?
Oh gosh. Oh no. Who would that be?
I have a guess.
I have a guess too.
Probably a Big East school. They seem to do well, like St. John's or somebody. You know?
St. John's is a good guess. Why don't you try that?
Who's? Okay, let's say. Oh, but was that formerly Big East?
Alabama?
Georgetown? Some ACC? Like Wake Forest?
Florida State?
Need an answer.
Florida State.
Incorrect. Back row, you can
Go for a
steal.
steal shot?
I think it's.
Yeah.
I think it's Louisville.
Do we? I thought it was Alabama.
Oh, Alabama.
I thought it was.
Oh, let's go with Alabama.
Alabama
Yeah,
is also wrong. It's
Alabama.
Minnesota. It's Minnesota. Sorry, guys.
Minnesota.
Richard Pitino.
Minnesota. These are tough. Oh, here comes our CBI
Half
question.
shoots. Fritz tries to put a hand on the face. Back row, 2014 was the year of the upset. Which number 14 team shocked number 3 Duke in the first round?
Was it Wofford?
What?
Was it?
I don't know. I
No,
can't remember.
doesn't sound right. But yeah, we're good.
Monmouth Park.
We're just embarrassing here.
Oh,
Let's
Monmouth.
throw out Wofford.
My hood.
Wofford?
Wofford is incorrect. Front row, you can steal.
Can't believe we can't remember. That was a big
Belmonts.
upset.
Oh,
Sounds like a team.
Belmont sounds good.
We're going Belmonts. The Belmonts.
The Belmonts did not do that. It was Mercer. Mercer.
Mercer. They're not all the same. Wofford, Belmont, Mercer.
They're literally sister schools of each other. It's like one of them's the business school, the other one's the.
Oh, that's the
We're
same school.
offering this game.
Front row in 2008, 4 number 1 seeds reached the Final Four. Name 2 of
Is that
them.
a question or a statement?
Name 2 of them.
Okay.
Statement question.
I know.
Villanova. There's probably Duke. Duke is
2008.
always
Yeah,
Duke
go
is
with-
always a #1 seed. Kentucky. Is that too early for Kentucky? When did Cal start there? Yeah, Kentucky.
2008 was a great year.
Duke and Kansas.
Kansas is correct. Half point back row if you can pick up one more.
Was that Tyler Hansbrough, North Carolina?
Oh,
that was 8 or 9. North Carolina for the other half point.
Yes, correct. Memphis and UCLA.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
And
I just looked this up the other
Oh,
day.
yes.
What was it, UCLA what?
Well, there it is. Long ass. Oh my God.
And finally, the back row, the lowest seed ever to reach the Final Four is number 11. It's happened 4 times. Here's a hint. 3 have been in the last decade. Name 2 of these.
VCU, for 1.
Oh, yeah.
Wichita State was a 7. The lowest seed ever to reach the Final Four. It's happened how many times did he say? 4?
4 times.
The last 10 years?
VCU, George Mason.
Nice. I like George
Yeah,
Mason.
you are correct.
Those are 2. VCU and George
That's
Mason.
good.
That was good.
Anderson Cooper.
Is LSU in that mix?
You got that for sure.
Roll that correct 3-pointer.
Dang! From downtown.
Our national champions are the back row.
I am shocked at you.
Nerds.
Well done, gentlemen.
Shocked
Stick
as you
around.
I did
Who knew that a segment on the box score would get things all sticky wicky out in the DP show? Hey, this is the box where we are taking a break to let you know that the Ram Heavy Duty, with its best-in-class towing, torque, and horsepower, doesn't need a break. That's right, guts, glory, Ram.
How this all started yesterday, they asked, we played a game, Know Your Row. We were trying to guess what we thought annoyed you about us. Like Seton guessed, what annoys Dan about things that I do? Oh. And so Seton guessed, you know, like when you come up and say, hey, is that a new shirt? And I say, who, me? Are you wearing, you wearing a new shirt? And I'll say, who, me? Yeah. And it bothers you. And I know I do it, but I still do it. So we went around the room and had fun with this. So we like, let's do another segment where we actually get to say what annoys us about you.
We are closing up shop here at the Box Score Bar. Yesterday, you guys went on a coordinated rant against the boss and what annoys you about him. McLovin, were you worried about any backlash today?
You know, I thought Dan was a little sensitive to this. I just felt bad. Like, I felt like he felt genuinely bad about the criticisms we had.
Well, clearly, Fritzy didn't take enough shots yesterday because he came in today again with a hammer and went down. Bam!
Sometimes vague responses when we're throwing out, how about this for a guest or a topic, or we'll give you multiple ideas, and if you respond with something like the letter K or OK, which doesn't really speak to, did he mean yes on the first thing, the third thing, all of them, none of them? Like, I don't know what that means.
Guilty as charged.
And then it's like, have you printed out my Dallas itinerary? After we say, how about getting the shortstop of the Twins on? And then this was years ago at ESPN. That still sticks with me. And the response to a certain guest idea was, did anyone print out my itinerary for Dallas? Which was a little troubling to me.
Man, it's so true. That Dallas itinerary thing happened once, about 10 years ago.
Yes.
But it was just so classic. It really does. It summed up exactly where Dan was at that point in time. He was at the tail end of ESPN. He was not a happy person to be around.
What's more dismissive?
There was almost never a good idea. Remember, we would do the morning meeting.
I'm going to talk about that
and we
for
had
3 hours.
We used to we had this little rundown that we called the DP3 for some reason. I don't even remember who came up with that, but it was sort of like passed down from producer to producer. And it was every idea we had, and we would put like hours into this and just go over everything that we had and guests and sound or whatever. And Dan would look at it and be like, what am I supposed to do with this? And you're like, oh, no, nothing. No, we got some other stuff too that we're working on. We're just gonna go look somewhere else.
It's like we handed him some Play-Doh and expected him to make like a Jaguar.
I'm supposed to talk about
So what happened once the show started? Did he take it?
He would go where he wanted to. He wants a lot of ideas, but he gets overwhelmed by a lot of input. So if you give him a list of 50 ideas, that would appear to be a good thing. But if you give him 50, he goes, oh, I can't look at 50. It's like sometimes we give him questions, and if you give him 15 questions, he goes, no. And if you give him 4, he may say, that's all the questions. So you're in a real tough position as a producer for Dan is how much is too much, too little. And if you overwhelm him with stuff, he taps out. And if you underwhelm him, he's like, what's going on here?
We had a producer
give me
who throw a little fit, he'd throw his papers up in the air in disgust and frustration. He'd be like, well, that's all I got. I don't know what you want me to do. They just give you like 15. Just like this little throwing
snowing
sheets of paper
papers.
up in the air.
All show prep and just be flying
Show's going on in
around.
like 9 minutes. It's like, all right, that's all I got. I don't know.
Dan walks off singing Skater Boy, Avril Lavigne. He was a skater boy, so see you later, boy. What?
I feel like I'm in 2004.
Oh, this has been another edition of What is Annoying About Dan. Fritzy, who is on tomorrow?
Tomorrow we're going to dip into the CBS talent
Just
pool.
the names.
Wally Zerbiak will join us of the CBS Sports Network college hoops analyst, and Doug Gottlieb will join us as well of CBS Sports, and we will break down what happens today, look ahead to what's going to happen tomorrow, and it's going to be a great show, and you should watch.
Wait, how are we going to look ahead? What's?
That's fine.
Did I mess up?
You didn't mess up.
Busted my chops.
All right,
There's
this
a
has
lot
been the
of
Box
games
Score.
to digest, and
We're
these
back
guys are gonna
tomorrow
help
at
us
3 p.m. Eastern, right here on Audience Channel 239. Podcast is available on iTunes or podcast1.com. I'm just fixing things.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Hey, thanks for watching the Box Score. Holy cow!